Joining us now for his reaction and what comes next, Democratic Congressman Bill Keating of the state of Massachusetts. Congressman, thanks for taking the time this morning.
Good morning, Jim.
So first, this is part of a pattern here, right? We've seen them taken to a number of blue states, blue cities. First, your reaction to these migrants being dropped off on Martha's Vineyard.
Well, I had a personal call yesterday afternoon from a Martha's Vineyard official. They were taken totally off guard. A private chartered plane, evidently there were two, not cheap, was on the island, and probably 50, first plane 25, next plane another maybe 25 people were there, and they didn't know what to do, had no idea. And they reported to me that these people got off the plane, men, women, and children from Venezuela, as they told me, and they had a map or instructions in their hand where they would get housing and jobs, and it was a vacant parking lot, the destination. And we contacted our governor. In fact, Jim, this is interesting. This is a tale of two governors, two Republican governors. One who was using taxpayer money for chartered jets and reportedly his own video photographer to capture this for his own political benefit, taking advantage of women and children, men who didn't know where they were going. And another governor in Massachusetts that we contacted in his office who put his nose to the grindstone and had his agency spring into action, and along with local officials, deal with the manufactured crisis.
We should note the governor of Massachusetts, of course, currently a Republican. I want to ask about the law, but before I get there, just the immediate issue here. Can local resources support these migrants there, and how and for how long?
That's part of the cynical nature of this. Martha's Vineyard is a very small populated island. People commute from the land just to work there because there's no housing. So there's absolutely no resources to deal with this. But fortunately, religious community members and local officials and now state officials are springing into action to deal with it. So there was no ability to do it here. This wouldn't have been a destination simply to move them from one state to another. This was clearly just to attract political attention with an island that is known in the summertime for its wealthy visitors. But I've got to tell you this, that it backfired on him with the response of local officials.
Let me ask you this, though, because the way the current law stands, when you have folks come to the border, they apply for asylum, as they're waiting for their cases to be heard, adjudicated, they can travel inside the U.S. and often do on their own. Does that law need to be changed?
Well, I think the whole system, obviously, Jim's broken, and we could deal with issues if we could ever get together, particularly on the Senate side of things. We're not even dealing with people who were taken here as children, the DACA children, the dreamers, who came here and gainfully employed or in the military or in school by definition. So really, instead of these stunts, I hope we can get some bipartisan and bicameral help to just deal with the problem and move the thing forward. Because, using this issue as a political wedge evidently has worked for a while in terms of politics. It's just not the way to treat human beings, and it's really not being responsible if you put your hand in the air and take an oath to help people.
Yeah. Well, Congressman Bill Keating, I'm sure this is an issue we'll speak about again. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Republicans making a midterm choice to highlight another crisis that they say is the president's fault. The Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, ferrying 2 plane loads of migrants to Martha's Vineyard off the island. It's part of Massachusetts. CNN's Miguel Marquez is there for us now live. Miguel, a surprise on the island. What is the fallout today?
Yeah, a very big surprise. And what is happening right now, this is the church where all 50 of them are being assisted, getting their basic needs met right now. I met one woman who was on that plane. She says yesterday morning they were in San Antonio, she, her husband, and their child, and they were promised help. They said they could get on a plane. They were promised help. She, her family, and 47 others got onto 2 planes in San Antonio, and they ended up here in Martha's Vineyard. I want to bring in Dylan Fernandez, the state representative here. Dylan, you've been chatting with folks. How are they doing now, and what needs are being met?
Sure. Well, everyone's needs are being met right now. We have to move over this person
right,
that's
okay.
coming through here. Everyone's needs the second they got off the plane were met. This island community sprang together. Everyone got the beds they needed, the food, the water, the shelter, the medical care. Right now we have areas set up, triage areas for people connecting with Spanish-speaking immigration attorneys. We have a playroom for the children that is set up. There are kids here.
So seven families, I understand, 4 children between the ages of 3 and 8. The woman I spoke to earlier said that her case, her next appointment is in San Antonio in a month or so on a refugee status because she's claimed refugee status, her and her family. How is this going to work? This is more complicated than just getting them to the mainland and getting them to some sort of shelter in Massachusetts or elsewhere.
Yeah, so that's what our immigration attorneys here are working on right now. They're working on the people who have the most immediate appointments first, working with them to either reschedule or find a way to make that happen. And it's an ongoing situation right now. There's a lot of people here, but our attorneys are working quickly on that.
The airport said that they had about 20 minutes notice that these planes were arriving. It's a public airport. They cannot turn away planes if more come. It is not clear that any more are coming, but what is your sense of it? Do you think this is it, that they have made their point?
You know, the point here is that we are going to, and we've seen this here today as an island community, we're going to come together and support whoever shows up here. And we're going to make sure that people have the food, water, and shelter that they need. You know, Ron DeSantis and Republicans might want to play political games with people's lives. I believe that's incredibly inhumane to be using women and children and families as a political pawn that you can then talk about on Tucker Carlson and pretend to be tough on immigration. What is real tough, what is really bold, is the people coming here together today on island to support these families. We're going to continue to do it.
I covered the family separation policy under the Trump administration, which was incredibly difficult to see those families torn apart. I mean, do you see this as a continuation of this in that realm?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no low that these people will go. They'll keep going lower and lower, and they're willing to use humans, children, women, families, as political pawns for their own game. It is depraved, it is evil, it is wrong, but what makes America great is what we see here today, which is an island community and a state in Massachusetts is coming together to support the people here.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. John, I'm going to send it back to you. The emergency management for the state of Massachusetts is coming here as well to help coordinate a lot of the care for these people from today and forward. Back to you.
Miguel, before I let you go, I don't know your physical restraints there, but if you could just walk around, to the degree you can walk around a little bit, just to give us the scope. I have been to Martha's Vineyard many times. I know where you are, but just so our viewers can understand what's being done here.
Yeah, so this is, the church is across the street from what you're looking at now. This is the parish house where everybody is being cared for. There's a room where the kids are. They were playing volleyball or soccer back there a little while ago. Most of them are volunteers. Some of them are immigrants who arrived here yesterday, and they are setting up basically tables to receive goods. They have tons of volunteers to bring people in so that they can help out with everything going forward. There is another church in town. All of them are being held at this one location right now, or being helped at this one location right now. There is another church in town that if more arrive, they are making arrangements for that. So, you know, they won't be deterred. The sense of pulling together and helping these people is real here. It is helpful that this is after the high summer season, so there are sort of fewer people here, but it's also a town that goes, you know, to 20,000 people in the wintertime and over 100,000 people during the summer. So, you know, they are doing what they can right now, but you can see the level of organization here, and it's just day one. I think that they are really, you know, stepping up to fill the void. John?
Just a moment. Miguel Marquez, appreciate your hustle, your crew's hustle as well, and whatever your views at home on the immigration issue. Remarkable just to see the decency and the compassion of these people coming together to help a fellow human being. Miguel, thank you.